come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
Oh, come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Oh, come thou King of David, come and open wide our heavenly home. Make safe the way that leads on high, and close the paths of misery. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel how come to thee, O Israel.
All right, so you're still tuned to Love 99.5. It's some 18 more minutes to hit 8 o'clock. Beautiful carols for your enjoyment this very morning. And of course, today is the 13th of December, 2023. So it tells you 12 days from today, it will be what? Christmas Day. And of course, at the Eratri Park, we're bringing you to the Night with the Stars, where array of artists will be on stage. We'll have Kojo Intri coming through, Kim Promise coming through, Kidi coming through, Kojo Akwabwa coming through, Junior, and of course my very favorite Kenata will be there as well.
12 days to Christmas. So officially we start counting on the
12 days of Christmas. But 11 days from today will be the kids party day, huh? No, 10 days.
10 days, yeah.
10 days. Because the kids party is what? On the 23rd?
23rd, yeah.
So 10 days from today. Today is the 13th. So 10 days from today. And one of the MCs for the day that makes the kids, have fun is with me in the studios of Love 99.5. Uncle Kofi Diakwa.
The official for that Christmas.
Randolph Martinaka is right here.
Can I chip my own also?
Your what?
My concept.
Kofi Diakwa, how are you, by the way?
I'm good, Dave. And what about you?
Child, the Lord is my shepherd as always. I'm good. And I'm happy that you're here for this conversation that we're about to have on radio. And listen, it all has to do with the elections coming up on Tuesday. That is the district level elections for assembly members and of course local committee members as well. It's all coming up on Tuesday, the 19th of December. I don't know whether you've heard about it, whether you are very much aware of this elections coming up, on Tuesday. And if you are ready to vote, I want to know from you again if you are ready to vote come next Tuesday. I like at this point in time to introduce you my panel. You've already heard from Kofi Diakwa. Now I'll be telling you why Kofi is on the panel this morning in a bit. But before before I do that, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Ali Yakubu Nyaba. He's a senior lecturer, Department of History and Political Studies, K University. Doc, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's been a while, huh?
Yes.
See, I'm always a bad brother and friend. I only get in touch with you when it's getting close to elections.
I understand.
And after the elections, I ask my dog, Fashami.
Yeah.
But I Fashapa. Also with us in the studios of Love 99.5 is Trinibua Kodia Nathaniel. He's a municipal director, NCCE, Asqua Municipality. Nathaniel, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Trust you're well.
By God's grace.
All right, so like I said a while ago, the district assembly level elections will be held on the 19th of December. That will be next Tuesday. So, simple question: are you aware of it? Are you aware that we're going to the polls to elect assembly members, to office? Are you aware that next Tuesday we're going to vote for local committee members to also take up positions? Are you ready to even vote, come Tuesday? Now, I'm asking this because over the years, it looks as if the interest is not there. The apathy is very high. Because the highest voter turnout we had was in 1988, where we had about 59% voter turnout. Then the other highest was in 1998, where we had some 49% voter turnout. From then, it's been going down. Nobody really wants to vote. Will you be voting next Tuesday? I asked you this question. You told me an answer, so I'm asking again. Will you be voting next Tuesday?
You will.
This time around, I'll try.
Ah.
I have never done it before.
Why?
The seriousness is just not there.
When you say seriousness, what do you mean by seriousness?
I mean, when in any election, you can feel the energy in the air, and then you feel like you want to be part of it. Like when the presidential elections and the parliamentary elections, the buzz around it and the importance that they attach to it is more visible. It's more.
But when you listen to radio, I hear Love 99.5, of course, television stations. There's a lot of publicity. There's making it known to us that the elections is coming up.
Yeah, but now it's changing. But ask yourself, how many people live in a neighborhood that knows their assemblyman by face or
even by name?
By name.
Do you know your assemblyman?
No. Where I was at Manchia, now I know him because he was my friend.
Okay.
And he was a boy who was with everybody. Like, he is a very known boy in the hood. And people thought that it was time that we gave some, like, a new face or a new twist to it. So the energy around him and how he conducted himself, everything was different. So it kind of gained more attraction. But before that, it was some lady. I had never met her before. I don't know what. Yeah, where I live now at Kwadaso. I'm at Kwadaso South, just getting close to the Patase estate. I don't know the assemblyman. I have never heard of him. I don't know his name. I don't.
He's there.
Yeah, I know he's there.
Kofi Diakwa is here because not long ago, Kofi.
Yeah, so you would know. You would know because you are in that circle. But for the ordinary person.
But are you aware that Kofi contested something?
I know. I mean, we all can.
And we know.
And even that assemblyman you're talking about, that is Harry.
Okay.
Harry was a first timer, like when I went in there, and he won.
Okay.
And he's still the assemblyman. I mean, trying to come again. So,
but I didn't say we don't.
But Nathaniel, you are with the NCC. We've got some 6 more days to go. Next Tuesday is election day. What have you guys been up to? Because aside from the information services department, you guys are the other guys who have to be on the ground to educate people and all that. Yeah. What have you been up to?
Well, Dave, thank you. And then I want to say a very good morning to your listeners. Well, NCC, we started way back from January this year with education. The way the system is, sometimes you have to also be proactive. So we started with the identifiable groups. We engaged the transport unions, the women groups, the Tailors and Dressmakers Association. And then we also visited some of the churches within my municipality, for instance, Asukwa Municipal. Every Sunday we try as much as we can to engage some of the churches. And also just last week or so we had a van, information van. We started in the dawn. We went around the community, sensitizing the public about the DLE, that is district level election. So NCC, we started way back from January, and also we have posters that we've placed at a strategic point so that people can.
Before I even ask you how the response has been from people whom you have engaged with, are you well resourced to do this? I spoke to some EC friend of mine. I'm going to tell you straight up. He says you guys even come to him asking for fuel and all that. And they cry and say that education.
Yes.
Are you well resourced to do your job?
Well, as I earlier said, because of lack of resources, we also use so many strategies because to go around the municipality with vehicle engaging the public, So you have to use another means that you can also reach the public. So we have something we call one-on-one education. We enter a market and then we move from maybe one shop to the other. Sometimes we use the community information centers. So with that, it can go far. Just as you have given us the opportunity, so that
and God knows how long you've been pushing me for this, huh? after I did some program for I did a program where I moderated the program, at Milton Hotel, and he was there. I was like, Charlie, I'd like to educate people. I said at the right time we'll have this conversation. But you've been on the ground, Nathaniel. Will you say that people are aware of it? Are people ready to vote come Tuesday?
Well, I would say yes and I would say no, because some of them they will say, oh, the last time the assembly member said, oh, when you vote for him, you do this, you do that. But indeed, they voted and they didn't see any promises that the assemblyman or assembly member made. So it has kind of pushed them back. Some of them too, they express willingness to vote this time to show their Kokromoti power to the leadership, because some of them, they said, oh, because the promises that the assemblyman made, he wasn't able to fulfill it, so they want a new face. For that matter, they will vote whatever means possible. They will use it and vote, and then maybe have a new face. So let's say this time around is better than the previous.
Based on what are you saying? I've been saying this. This time around,
based on the interest of the public, because I remember 2019, we can move to a church and you finish and you see people lining up for questions, and they say, oh, they won't vote because they haven't seen any development in their community. They won't vote because the promises that the assembly member made, they haven't fulfilled it and all that. But this time around, you go to a community, I think they've understood the concept of our democracy. So you go to a community and you do the education, they say, oh, fine, the assembly member couldn't fulfill his or her promises, but they will vote and then change the assembly.
The local government minister, Damboche, is saying that this time around, he's hoping that voter turnout will be above 50%. That's what he said. And again, like I mentioned a while ago, in 1998 we had about 59% voter turnout. Then in 1998 we had 49% voter turnout. Do you believe that enough has been done such that what the local government minister is hoping for will be achieved? Do you foresee that happening, 50% turnout?
Yes, I'm even hoping that it will even cross 50%, because as I said, we done a lot of engagement. We've engaged Nananom. Last week Sunday, we engaged all Nananom in our municipality. So we've realized that they are also agents of, they carry weight in the various communities. So we've engaged them. We've also promised that they will do their best. They will talk to their people to come out and vote. And also the MPs, I understand the minister also spoke to the MPs to also do their part. So my MP, for instance, at the other time, the assembly meeting, he made mention of it. That
Asqua, Mama Pat.
Yes, he made mention of the same issue. So I hope and pray that this time around it will cross.
Dr. Nyaba, Ali Nyaba, like I said, he's also with us in the studios of Love 99.5. Grateful to you, sir, always for your time. What would you say is the reason why there's voter apathy when it comes to the DLA?
Thank you so much. I have been yearning to appreciate why we are concerned about the percentage. Because I think we will have to get back to the fundamentals. Why don't people vote? And I also wanted to request from the NCC official here what they tell the people when they go to the groups, because the people may want to know the usefulness of that exercise to their lives. We have to be very practical here. We wake up on a daily basis trying to put food on the table for our families. And if it is very convenient that if I wake up from my bed, I press a button and it is a vote, maybe most people will vote. But if I have to forgo what is so needful to me, and then go and queue, then I must as well have a very good reason to commit my time to do so. So fundamentally, let's all empathize. We are all voters, apart from the fact that you are an official. Why would you want to spare some of your time to vote for an assembly member in your area? Why? What will be the motivation? Your answers to these questions will be very similar to those of the groups that you may be talking to. And then once you are able to analyze your answers, you know exactly why the people are not voting. I cannot relate with the people who don't vote because honestly I have a very different reason for voting.
But Doc, would you say that the exercise itself, the fact that we introduced the DLA, the district level elections and all that, has it served its purpose? Has it been useful?
Wow. Yeah, I want to hesitate to sound too negative.
But let's say it as it is.
But,
maybe through that we'll then find solutions to fixing the problem.
Honestly, it has to do with most of the things that we do as a country here, not just these elections. It's usually very well written in our books, but practically you don't see it like that. If you read the district assembly concept, at least from 1988, very beautiful, and how it has developed over the period. Very, very beautiful. But you see, in practice, because you told me I will have this conversation, I tried to speak to a number of aspirants. I just wanted to know, do they even know the reason why they are going in for the elections? And what have they tried to know about their roles and responsibilities if they are given such positions? And I tell you, maybe we should not always scratch the issues from the surface. Most of the aspirants just want positions. They don't even know their responsibilities.
Yeah.
And if you are going to vote, the reason why I always vote is not because of expectations. Honestly, I was born in Kasi. That's where I grew up. And even when I was living there, those who had migrated to other areas come to vote, and it's always that fraternity. I'm always looking forward to meet those who have left. And today, on next week Tuesday, no matter where I am, I'll go to Kasi because I'm expecting to meet those who have migrated and will come because of the election.
That's your motivation for voting.
Exactly. I've never failed to vote. I have very good reason. Voting is a hobby for me. But people
not because the aspirant. Forgive me, Doc. Not because you are expecting development from that person or persons who are putting themselves up.
Not really.
Wow.
That is secondary. That's not part. But the primary aim is that I cannot miss the elections because
you meet old folks.
I'll meet old folks, and it's fun. It's a joy.
Wow.
And even voting, sometimes even apart from meeting the old folks, like going to vote, whether my candidate win or not, I always have a candidate in mind. I choose somebody based on reason. And whether you win or lose, I want to just do the thing for him, that I trust you. Sometimes I know my candidate will lose.
Yeah.
But I have a reason why I think he was the most suitable person for that position. But because other people may not think the same way. So those two reasons.
Tell me this. I mean, unfortunately in our situation or setting right now, if somebody wants to see development, even at the local level, they will not approach the assemblyman or woman. They would rather go to see the MCE or go to the MP. You understand? Well, the role and responsibility of the assemblyman is quite big, such that if we implement it very well at the local level, we'll see enough development. But unfortunately, that's not our case. People rather go up and demonstrate or raise concerns to the to the MP or the MCE. Take some time. What would you say the role of the assemblyman is?
Honestly, the main essence of this decentralization and local government thing was to send governance to the grassroots. Instead of governing from the center, they wanted, and the PNDC then, at least from 1988, I don't want to go into the historical antecedents so that we don't go too far. The PNDC, at least from 1988, used it to at least convince the masses that they had an agenda not to do as their predecessors had done. You know, they came in through what they came in through, and then and that agenda was to start from the point where governance was sent to the grassroots, so that they will be involved in decision making.
Yeah.
Because it is only fair that you know that context is very important. To sit at the center and take decisions for all the units may not be too appropriate for the different groups or the different regions. So the main vision was to allow the people who know exactly their peculiar challenges to take the decisions that will affect them positively. So the main responsibility of these assembly members was to, when they meet at the assembly as a group, they should bring up these peculiar needs from their areas, and then try to lobby. You have to be convincing, because the budget is already limited. The resources is usually
It doesn't even come. These days it doesn't even come.
It's limited. So you, apart from identifying the issue, you must be able to convince the assembly why you think that's a priority. You understand? So their major role was to represent the various units. That is why, apart from the assembly members, we have unit committees who also represent minute units within the same communities. Then they come up with the issues. Then the assembly members take them up, send to the assembly. Then he is supposed to represent the assembly very well, not just bringing up challenges, but be convincing as to why it is a priority. You understand? So that the assembly can, consider it rather than considering another alternative. Yes. So I don't want to go into the academic realm saying that these are the roles and responsibilities of the assembly member. But basically, if I want to put all in a nut, it's just to be able to represent the people and deal with their issues based on context and perspective.
Have we in our books these fine, laws, ideas, but when it comes to implementation, we have so much challenges? Why is it so?
Yes, you see, it's quite delicate, because even this thing is supposed to be apolitical. But if you go down to the grounds, these people are representatives of various parties, and then they know each other. Sometimes they try to pitch one candidate against another so that they will split votes based on political lines. So you see, it is different on paper. You understand? In practice, when you go into the field, it's very, very, very different. And like I told you, the concept is so beautiful, but the implementation has to do with the central government reluctance to even give away power to that extent.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's decentralization.
Based on how it is written in the books, to even give away power, because they also need it. They also need it for political capital. You said the people go to the MCE.
Yeah. Or they go to the MP.
The MCE, the MP are representing the larger political group. You see, the assembly member is supposed to be apolitical. So if development is coming through a channel that is not directly politically represented, it is not in the interest of the central government. So as we speak of the ideals, when we go into the realities, maybe we should be proactive to also look at how we can fill these holes. Other than that, we will just be dreaming. You understand? If we can fill the holes, because you say the people are not supposed to be political, but they are, and they are indirectly political though. But the people, if you allow the individuals within the community
to deal with the assembly members, what we cannot leverage political capital from our representative, the municipal assembly. We cannot leverage political capital from our MP. You understand? So it's quite delicate. So if we are really interested in doing what we want to do, then we have to deal with those loopholes on the ground.
And that seems quite a big task to do. But again, before I go to Kofi here, Nathaniel, I mean, elections don't come cheap.
Yeah.
The aspirants will have to campaign at a cost.
That's right.
The EC would also have to organize the elections at a cost. So print of ballot papers, getting people, officials of the EC, on the ground and all that. And you look at the voter turnout. Are we not wasting our money in doing this? Is it not some waste of resources? Because you don't see the need. I mean, people put themselves up for the elections, spend money. EC organizes it, spends money, and then voter turnout is very, very small.
Yeah.
The people who even win are not given the resources to be able to do what they're supposed to do. So what is the essence of this?
Well, you see, democracy is very, very expensive. And democracy that we practice is a participatory one. So, by all means, there have to be resources going down to the electorate. It's just that sometimes, going to vote is your constitutional right. So, sometimes if you decided not to go and vote, you are not fulfilling your constitutional right as a citizen. And also, you are not holding the leaders accountable for their stewardship. So what I would say is that it's not waste of resources though, but it's just that the citizenry have to up their game and then fulfill the constitutional.
I up my game,
yeah.
Fulfill the constitutional requirement.
Yeah.
For what gain?
If
Yes.
if you
No,
may
please.
permit me.
Please, I will.
Yes.
Yes.
It boils down to the quality of the persons who go in for these positions. You've been talking about voter apathy. But you see, if you can gain that not through the NCCE, but from the aspirants. You understand how they are convincing when they get the positions, and how they can be convincing even during their campaigning seasons, can whip up enthusiasm to increase. I don't think the main aim of this thing is about higher voter turnout, 80% voter turnout. It's about the impact of the assembly member in the area, the impact of the local governance system in the area so far as development is concerned.
Yeah.
So those people have to be ingenious. You see, the resources will always be limited. There's never going to be a time where we will have
Enough resources, yeah.
abundant or even enough
Yeah.
resources. So, but the ingenuity of, so when I spoke to some of the assembly members, they said that apart from the budgetary allocations, they have seen that there are individuals and organizations within the communities that they can exploit for the development of the areas. But the challenge is usually that their predecessors who have done this did not channel the resources
To what they said they were going to
to
use
what
it
they
for.
said they were going to do. That's the challenge. But you see, the assembly member is not supposed to just rely on only the allocations that is coming from the central government. But you have to be ingenious. You have to understand your environment. You will have to appreciate, and you have to be honest. You will have to be somebody. When I was much young, we had an assembly member at Kase called Butler. I think he's late now.
Is it Nana Butler?
Nana Butler.
Yeah.
I think he's late.
He's late, yeah.
Yeah. After his first tenure, people in Kase said that, Akwawe, Senyeso NDC niya. He worked. You could see the impact. You understand how he was able to do it. I can't tell. But the bottom line is that, like I always say in politics, I'm not interested in the nitty-gritties. When you come and say you can do I just want to see the doings,
The results.
and as at then we saw the doings. You see, our roads, the internal roads were tied. We were getting street lights for the first time. When you picked dropping to Kase those days, they didn't want to go because of
the
Mayanka,
roads.
the roads, and Cassie suddenly opened up and everything. So you could see that there is work. So why won't somebody go to vote the next?
Kofi Diakwa, you attempted not long ago to become an assembly man. I mean, you wanted to do that alongside your radio work and all that. How was the experience like for you? That was in 2019, right?
Yeah, 2019.
How was the experience like?
It was worth it, but then, like I said, I tried, but the community or the people that I was just going to serve decided otherwise.
All right, so let me take it one after the other.
Yeah.
You had a plan as to what you wanted to do for your area. Let me call it your own small manifesto.
Yeah.
You had a manifesto.
Yeah.
You engaged with the people based on what you intended to do. What was it that you wanted to do for the community? How did the people take it, and how come you didn't win?
Okay, so basically, as we've been discussing, some of the time, not necessarily what you want to do for the community, but where you are coming from as a person. You know, the vote turnout, it's always political. Especially when I was contesting, I thought I was just going to leverage on.
Were you contesting on any party ticket?
No.
Because you didn't campaign even along the line.
You listen. I was going in there because, okay, this is Kofi. I have a lot of connections. I have a lot of, places that I could just go and then maybe come back and help my community. That was my idea for going in there. So that once I have the power, I will just connect all those knots and then do something like it was just citing an example of what the late Butler did for the community, so that they will say, oh, and I say, Kofi so free South. One, when I got in there, the first tag was that I should show where I belong.
In terms of political
campaigns, OMDC and IMPP.
Okay. No, the thing is supposed to be apolitical.
Yes. So when they ask you, and then you say, Mijinam Finfia, there be you say. So if you are not ready to go, you say, you are out. Bring whatever idea, bring whatever.
So all your ideas you had for the did you tell them? Did you tell them about your plans? The ideas you had for them.
I shared it.
It didn't matter to them which party you belong to.
You listen, when we were just going in there for the public assembly, asking people should just read their manifestos or the plans they have for the community. For once, I don't know about the others. I did copies of my plans and I shared it with the people even there to go through, so you know my reasons for coming. Just a MPP and NDC.
I know that when it comes to some of these things, I mean, I'm not. Let me put the question this way.
Okay.
We've heard about people, aspiring for positions, be it MP or whatever, paying money. I mean, people even want to become flybearers, are giving TNT and all that. At that level, aside from people being partisan with it, did you have to pay any bribe?
Yes.
They didn't demand it, or you gave?
They demand. Some they demand. Some of them, the groupings will come and tell you have to do this or else forget it. Especially maybe what do favorite watch joint be Toby, and then there you see 2 or 3 people from the community. Honorable, yenya pay ope. Ebi and the 5 cities be also watch new to ya when to ya now kwa where she has embassa when you into Abama. That kind of thing. And that wasn't your reason. So but when they meet you and they ask you and you don't do it, it's a bad vote for you.
But isn't that to say that we don't understand the concept very well?
So I was just David. So I was going to propose that the 1998 concept, if we can, we should review the whole concept and then maybe make some changes. Like we were saying, if we should make it political thing, partisan or something, then we know we are going this way. If we do it apolitical, then we can also then explain it for the people to know. Because David, look at you live around the Jasi or your community. If you decide one day that you can do it, be it with NDC, MPP or whatever. But the people would rather ask your background before they will even give you the chance to do it. So at the end of you ask yourself, should I worry myself to do this, or I should just
well,
you see, when the idea came that I wanted to contest, people who saw my vision and then maybe read into the goals that I was just going to project for the community, they started buying into it. So they would just organize something small for me. Communal labor, be a twice skin be more and stuff like that. And if I should tell you, the very first person on Peseme Bonidin, so me and Bonidin, he just put 10,000 there for the campaign whatsoever, whether I win or lose. So it's Kofi, maybe 10,000 at all.
Why didn't you go again?
I decided not to go again because I wasted my time.
So what he's saying, he says he feels he wasted his time.
Yeah, I wasted my time, my resources, everything.
People are not don't understand what it is that is being done. They would rather ask you which political party you belong to than to look at what plans he has for the community. I'm asking this question because you mentioned that the caliber of people who put themselves up is also critical. So if somebody has good ideas to wanted to bring to his community, but people are looking at it from the political angles, and he will say it's a waste of his time, it means that we haven't gotten to the level where the people appreciate what it is that we want for them. How do we fix that problem?
You see, that is probably where the NCC should come in. That is from the citizenry point of view. But from the political point of view, elections, you go into elections to win. And that is fundamental. Whatever you do to win is a strategy. It's called a strategy. Yeah. But from the citizenry point of view, I think that is the work of the NCCE. And it's not just with the assembly members, but even parliamentarians. You ask whether electorates know the rules of the parliamentarians. They tell them things that they are legitimately not required or even not capable of doing. So that is the NCCE thing. But if you asked me to have advised him from the political point of view, it's about a strategy to win elections, and that should be your focus.
Okay.
But he went in as somebody who merely tried to. But you need to win before you can help the people. If you go in as somebody who is just willing to help the people, you may not get a nod, and you will be frustrated as he is. But if you strategize, you can strategize, align and unalign, and then just win the elections. Then
this thing about MPP and DC, is it really helping our cause as a people?
It's not helping.
It is not.
That is why I was saying.
We change? And listeners, you can call us now on 03220.
It's not helping. It's not helping because
03220 83597 03220 83598. Simple question to you: are you aware that the district level elections is coming off? On Tuesday, the 19th of December. Will you vote for your assembly member? Vote for a unit committee member next Tuesday? Will you vote, or you will not vote, and why? Are you even aware that these elections are coming up? 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. You can also, make your contribution to our WhatsApp number, 05511119995. All right, that's our WhatsApp number. Joel, I'm blinded here. I'm blinded here, so you need to help me out with the monitor. But we have a call on the line. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Yes, boss. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Ken.
Good morning. Let's hear you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to my big brother, Kofi. David, people do not see, or the citizenry do not see the relevance of these assembly members. Because it's more or less like if you ask or if they are coming to contest, all their message are like, I'm going to build a toilet, I'm going to dig a borehole, and then those minor, if I should put it, minor things is what they used to put out as their message. And it's about time that they need to educate the individual Ghanaian about the reason why they are contesting, the reason why we need to vote for them or we need to bring them on board, because they are kind of messengers, direct messengers from the area to the government. The government on board. Let me put it that way. So the education must be the most important thing that we need to put across, or they need to put across, so people will get to know the reason or the relevance of them.
Well, I hear you, Ken. Thanks for calling. 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. Are you ready to vote on Tuesday? The Assembly members and the Unit Committee members' elections is up on Tuesday. Are you ready to vote? Martin, good morning. Martin?
Hello.
Martin, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, Martin. Let's hear you. Are you ready to vote on Tuesday?
Mr. David, I'm just thinking whether to vote or not to vote. Because where I stay at Oshimishidi, the assemblyman is just opposite my house over there. And since we voted for him, we have never seen him even passing by. One time, somebody came and constructed an illegal building in front of a street that I passed to my house. I complained to him. He never came to see what was even happening. So I don't think I will even vote. Thank you.
Well, I hear you. He says he hasn't even seen the assemblyman before. So why do they put themselves up for the elections then? If they don't be proactive and work, why do they put themselves up? Christoph, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. How are you, sir?
I am well, Chris.
David, this question that you're asking, a lot of people are not even aware of. People don't even know the reason they should go in and vote for the assembly members and the unit committee members. And nobody is telling anybody anything about why they should go and vote. You see? And so going forward, I think people should be educated because the assembly men or women, they play vital roles. David, they play but they serve as bridges between the assembly and the people and all that. But people don't even know. And two, even the way they conduct themselves in their area, these assembly members will never support in anything. They'll just come with mass, but for them to liaise so that people can have social abilities, they don't. So I think that people should be educated. Even the assembly members, they don't even know their roles as an assembly member. They don't even know. They are going there so that when the time comes for them to also go forward for MP, so that people will know them and vote for them for the MP. They're not even going there for anything, but they are aiming high so that when it's time for MP and all that, they can also do. So I think that much education should go in so that people will be aware and know the importance of voting in assembly member, the unity committee member.
Thank you very much, Christoph. Daniel is next on the line. Hi, Danny. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And a simple question to you. Are you ready to vote on Tuesday?
I don't think that I will vote.
What?
Yeah, I don't think that I will go and vote on Tuesday.
Why not?
Listen, as a Muslim, I'm in Kanipri. Me, one man, so I'm Manchester District. Even me, MP, a quite basa. Oh, one year DC crowd and MP into me one of my now by a family mind. So what I say, man, so I say no more basa, even me see public toilet class to be the upon the public toilet for a bin here. Man, so be a bini. Sabi be a janan kwa. Ya kwa basa, me see so for cafe a book myself, but to come see our home. Over your fee, would see ya no be a maybe a free bar. So what I say, you can't name so tired, bread is a pretty bread. We don't know. That's my friend. Let's say about 20 never.
Well, Daniel, thanks very much for joining us. 03220-83596, 03220-83597, 03220-83598. The district level elections is up on Tuesday. It's coming off on Tuesday. Are you ready to vote? Are you even aware of it? Godwin, good morning.
Good morning, David.
How are you, Godwin?
By the grace. I hope you also do well.
I'm well by grace. So, are you aware of the elections? Are you ready to vote on Tuesday?
David, I'll vote. You know, I'm a former assembly member, and I believe in assembly concept, so I'll vote. Okay. I have never escaped it. I always vote since the conception of the assembly system. David, I think we are not looking at the issue well. Some people are saying, oh, when we make it political, it will work and so forth. David, that is not the issue. We also have to look at, in case we are making it political, we know at the national level, people can contest as presidents without joining any party, independent candidates. So when you make the assembly political, that freedom of association the right to contest a vote, where would it be? So you'll be forced to either join party A or B before you can qualify.
Even as we speak, God will forgive me for coming in, but even as we speak, you heard Kofi Diakwa say that whilst he was campaigning, he'll be asked, are you with party A or with party B? When you say you are neutral, independent, they are not for it.
But David, there are other assembly members, because of their posture, their candidature, and how they communicate, they are not party A or B, but they've been able to win. The issue is how to package yourself. There are people who just think that, assembly, somebody said some people don't even know their role. The issue is not just, I want to be an assembly member, I will do this road, I will do that. Sometimes how you package yourself and communicate with the people is a factor. David, do you know that there are some places, so a certain party might be at the upper, but before some of them must win, it is even the other people that even vote for the person to win. David, the most issue that we have to look at here is assembly member, you go there, deliberate, and make laws. You also have to help in supervising the government institutions and government heads, and including lobbying to make sure that something comes to your area. 2, assembly member have to mobilize his people, let them know the challenges at the areas, prioritize them, and submit to the assembly. In doing that, you need to have a support from the assembly. Maybe let's ask ourselves, where are they having the fund? The fund is not coming for assembly member to go and do that, for people to know the impact of the assembly member. Again, the District Assembly Common Fund, MPs, who are ex officials of the assembly, they don't have voting rights at the assembly. They have a certain part of the common fund, which is supposed to be used at the district level. Assembly member doesn't have a direct fund from the common fund that he will say that I want to go and do this at my area, and this is the fund I'm getting, so I'm going to use it. You see, so there are some of these things that we have to look at, make the work attractive, so that the assembly member can deliver, for the people to realize the potentials and whatever that assemblyman has to do. Then it will shape up the sentiment.
Godwin, before you go, tell me, why you no more an assembly member? What happened?
David, I didn't hear you well.
Why are you no more an assembly member?
Oh, you know, some are appointed and some are elected. For instance, the DC is appointed. The DC is also assembly member.
You no more an assembly member?
So now I'm no longer assembly member because I'm not part of the appointee level.
Thank you very much.
Okay. He was appointed.
Akwesi Prempe, good morning. Hello, Akwesi Prempe.
David.
Akwesi, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Yes, Akwesi Prempe, let's hear you, please.
Well, David, I am happy for you and the listeners because this is a discussion that most of us have been waiting for. What Kofi was saying is the same thing on the ground. People now don't look at what the person can deliver. They always want to get something before voting goes on, or because they feel that when we are voted into power, they don't see the good things that we are going to do. Maybe somehow what others have done before. So personally, David, I am going in at Sokoban electoral area. I'm an aspirant there. When you go to the ground, people don't even want to know what the duties of the assembly member is, all because they don't get any impact when it comes to the assembly member election. And I think the education has to go on from now. If not, even after the election, there must be time for the NCCE and then the Electoral Commission itself to make sure that they step up with this kind of education to make sure the electorate and then the citizenry get to know the duties of an assemblyman.
Well, I hear you, Akwesi Prempe. Thanks for joining us. Kofi is on the line. Hi, Kofi. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, Kofi.
Yes. Sometimes when I hear people say illiterates do not understand the concept of assembly man elections. I see that as an insulting. In this age, 21st century in Ghana, everybody in Ghana knows the concept of assemblyman. I mean, the local government governors. So if somebody says that people don't understand the concept, that is why there's voter apathy. Oh boy. Look, we know that assembly members, they go to assembly. They are not the development agents as some people want us to believe. Somebody was saying that assembly members should not depend on the money that comes from the central bank. Which money again should assemblyman depend on in giving development, if indeed they are the development agents? Do they have to, take their own money from their own pocket to do development from for their communities? They have to depend on the this assembly common fund, and when this common fund comes, the DCEs decide what they want to do with the money, and so the assemblyman is helpless. They have no power to tell the DCE that come to my community, do this. My community members want this, they want that, so come and do it. They will not do it. And so assembly members, they don't bring any development because they don't hold money. This is why people are not ready to go out there to vote. They are there, they are just there, and they are called honorable. That is all that they want, honorable. They don't bring who pay.
All right, thanks very much. Our final caller is in Isaac. Hi, Isaac. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, David. David, you see, I agree with a lot of people that the Ghanaians really do not know the assembly system. And it's true, and it's a fact. Because the reason for the voter apathy is that a lot of people do not really know what the assembly members do for them. You see, when you get to the assembly system itself, David, so people can be able to join the local government development, be able to involve themselves in decision making, voting for their leaders and other things. I'm telling you, David, unless we go back to the DCE election, we make sure that we elect our DCE. And this will ensure that people will participate, because that very day we will be voting for our DCE. We will also be voting for assembly members, just like the presidential and parliamentary. And you will see that the enthusiasm will come. And another thing, I'm telling you, it's a fact. Assembly members approve budgets of the assembly. The assembly cannot do anything without the approval of the assembly members. So, if assembly members are oriented and we vote not on party lines, I'm telling you, development in the local level will be something that I'm telling you will be very, very effective.
I hear you, Isaac. Our final caller. Thanks very much for joining us. Let's take some two messages on WhatsApp, and then we'll call it a day this morning.
Dave,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so this one is it says, "Good morning, boss. I'm interested in the conversation going on this morning. We are not," he says, "one, we are not getting dedicated and educated people to be at the assembly because people often pick area boys who are known to them without looking at their educational qualifications and competence." It says, "I'm contested at Sokoban electoral area, and some sections are saying they will not vote unless money exchange hands, or because they feel when elected as an assemblyman, they will not see any impact."
Well. So what's up?
Yeah, this one is a voice note.
Good morning, Dave. I hope you are well. Of course, I am going to vote, David, because this is the warm-up coming 2024 general elections. So, I am surely going to vote only when I am alive.
Well, I hear you. Thanks very much. I just hope and pray that going forward we'll be able to improve upon this local governance that we say we are practicing, where decentralization will really become decentralized. Because even now, as we speak, there are people who will tell you, even the MCs we engage with, they'll tell you that there are contractors that are awarded to people to do jobs in Kumasi from Accra. You understand? So somebody's in Accra is giving out the contracts and taking some kickbacks or doing whatever, and then they who understand the situation of the people who would even supervise the work and make sure that the right things are done, they are left out. Leo, what were you saying? You want us to play one more voice note? All right.
Yeah, hello, good morning, David. So, in relation with the man who just spoke before Isaac came in, it's never true about what he said. The DCs don't make the final decision. It's the assemblymen who gather. Even when they gather at their meeting, the DCE doesn't have any authority. The person having the authority is the presiding member, chairing over it all. So they decide. Even the DC at the assembly is not a spender. He doesn't spend. The unfortunate thing is when the assemblymen gather or when they come to meet, all what they do is to play the politics that we all know our people play. That is why they are not able to solicit for development for their communities. When they come there, most at times, it's politics that they play. We say the assembly election is not political, but on that tone, we all know they come in with their political colors. And that is what they do over there. The DC doesn't make any decision. They make the decision, but they play their politics. So instead of doing what is right for their people, they don't do it. So me, for instance, I always tell people, if you really want to, you want development, you need to attack your assembly members. They are the people responsible for not the DCs, not the MPs that sometimes most often we bring them in.
I hear you, and I wish we can go on and on and on and on, but time is not our friend right now. We've got some messages for you. After we'll be joining the feed on Joy 99.7. The conversation is about the lithium contract as to whether it is good or not. A lot of people are saying that, well, they think that it's not the right contract that we have to sign, and we need to take a look at it again. That conversation comes up your way shortly on the Super Morning Show. But to Kofi, to Dr. Ali, and to Nathaniel from the NCCE, we say thank you very much.
Serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
Africa World Airlines, touching Africa, touching the world.
FPAC is effective for headache and relieves the symptoms of flu, cold, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pain. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness and rheumatic pains. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer, and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior is a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold, and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away. This advertisement is FDA approved.
Hey, Linda, long time, oh. Yes, so. Hey, but wait, oh, Linda, did you win the lottery? I mean, look at your room.
It's beginning to Super Morning Show.
Beginning of the process before the law was passed. Now, I suppose the question is whether the unraveling of time has proved him right or wrong. And let's be fair, this office has now had two very different people